Yeah.
Thanks for listening to the AZ Wildcats podcast. I'm your host, Mike Luke, joined by Jason Scheer. Jason Scheer and I were just disagreeing on the phone a minute ago. We will maybe go over some of that, Scheer, but we have a lot to get to this show. We're going to talk about Arizona football. We're going to talk about a clean slate. Arizona undefeated in Big 12 play, obviously. We're going to talk some Arizona basketball as well. We're going to make fun of Dave Aranda. We are going to talk a lot of different things. But first, Scheer, why don't we start with the presser? You say this is much ado about nothing. I disagree with you a little bit here. Basically your boards are going crazy right now because, what?
The Wildcat Authority boards are going crazy.
Yeah, no, hard to believe. I know, hard to believe. But I am going to side with the people on the board, and generally I get downvoted on the board. So, and this is true. But basically, the issue I think with a lot of people is this with the Brennan pressers. And like I said, if Brennan wins games, it doesn't matter. Nobody cares. We all agree with that. But the pressers to me there's absolutely no insight. There's absolutely no energy. And when he's asked about the offense or defense, he says, well, during the games, I don't really have much input on that. That's not what the fan base wants to hear, Scheer.
All right. I gave you that one. I agree with you on that one. The whole vibe and stuff, I don't care about that. But I get people saying like, yeah, but he doesn't call plays. It's the CEO approach.
Okay, so if things aren't, but here's what people don't want to hear. If things are going terribly on offense and you have one of the worst offenses considering in college football, considering that what you have, and you say, well, I don't really have much say in all of that.
That's not what he said. You're twisting his words.
Never.
The question by DK was basically, how much input do you have in calling plays? And he said he lets his coordinator basically call the plays, and they'll talk about what they're seeing and what's working and not working and things like that.
Okay. Like I said, I don't know that that's
not. I'm not. That's you're. Look, everyone is against Brennan. You don't need to help him here. That's not. And I don't. I wasn't fond of the answer, the way he answered. I would have liked him to say that he's very hands-on, but he lets.
But you know what it is. For me, yes, agreed. And I got to keep paraphrasing this by saying if Arizona wins 9 games, nobody cares. Nobody cares. But this does kind of add up a little bit. You cut off pretty much all access. You don't put any of the players out there. You show up at the pressers less than obviously enthused about ever having to beat any of them. Basically anything that is off the field related, he lets you know that I have absolutely no interest in this. That's, I guess, where my concern.
I think what we are seeing is because of the loss against Kansas State and the way it played out, Brent Brennan in this city is currently in a no-win situation this week. And
sure. You and I both agree though about the access, the players not promoting anything. You said that all offseason that was dumb.
Yes. Absolutely. That has nothing to do with wins and losses.
No, it doesn't. But it also feeds into the presser, though, a little bit, though.
I've seen pressers, and I've seen good coaches do great pressers and bad coaches. Like Kevin Sumlin was great in pressers. He was fine. He wasn't even sober for half of them.
Yeah. All right. Well, either way, we can agree to disagree on that, but there's many things that we are going to agree on this. And the first one is, I think that we have to address the elephant in the room here. There's a lot of people that are talking down on Arizona football. Did you watch that Kansas State game? At what point do we make the case that Arizona broke Kansas State and that BYU was just picking up the carcass?
Yeah. I mean, look, all I know is this. Kansas State allowed 21 points. BYU scored 21 points on special teams and defense because Arizona's offense wore them out.
Arizona's offense, ball control, especially that first drive with the way that Arizona took control of that first drive. I think you've got to make the case that Arizona broke Kansas State. I mean, I don't think many people want to hear that, but I think that's kind of where we're at, Scheer.
I mean, obviously.
Okay.
I mean, it's we'll find out. They need a bye week. Kansas State.
They need a bye week. After you get Arizona, you need that bye week.
They have Oklahoma State. We're going to find out which team, if Kansas State loses to Oklahoma State, I think it's safe to say Arizona, played a large role in that.
All right. Now, I have been lumped in with you, unfortunately, for something that I had absolutely nothing to do with, and I will shoot back at this one, though. I never said anything about somebody from ASU being involved with the JCM stuff. I have no clue where that came from. It was all Scheer. That was not me. Scheer, this is true. I never said this.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Mike is basically an ASU fan. So the last thing he wants to do is damage his relationship with his best friend, Kenny. So he wants to be very clear here. He had nothing to do with that.
You did back away from your remarks, though, Scheer.
No, I did.
Yeah, you did.
Associated with ASU. I never said it was Dilly.
Yeah, but you are. All right. All right. I will let it go. All right. Either way, let's get back to a team. But let's make fun of ASU. ASU, dead last in the Big 12 right now. Arizona undefeated. I mean, isn't this something that basically speaks for itself at this stage, too?
Yeah, I just tweeted that same thing. Going through the Big 12 standings, big week for Arizona. ASU in last place. Arizona undefeated in Big 12 play. I think people forget that.
ASU plays a good team, and all right, yeah. Now let's talk about Arizona though on some real notes. With Arizona, the first thing that I think we need to talk about is previewing the Texas Tech. I'm just kidding. Let's talk about Arizona, Utah. Utah is clearly the best team in the conference at this stage. I don't even know that it's close. Would you disagree with that? Maybe Colorado?
Utah is by far and away the class of the conference.
Yes, and exactly. And they're doing, of course, Cam Rising is going to be healthy. Arizona opens up as about a 2-point underdog, two touchdown underdog against Utah. What are your initial thoughts, Scheer? And then I'll give you mine.
I mean, my initial thought was that it's small, but the Vegas.
You called Arizona beating Utah before the season.
Yeah, I said they'd win one of those two games. I'm not so sure about that anymore.
Have you seen something that's changed your mind?
Vegas has it 31-20. I think the Bill Connolly SP has it like 33-20. I would almost take 33-20.
Dude, if we get 3 touchdowns against Utah, absolutely, I'll take that.
Yeah, I would almost take 33-20 and especially like that second touchdown is a little later. Right. I would be okay with that.
Oh, by the way, Michael Killebrew in here. We're generally wrong on everything. Well, mainly me, but we did call Marquise Groves Killebrew being good before the season. So far, he has been very nice for Arizona. So again, if you got any more of those kids, send them this way, man. We know where we'll put them out on the field. But let's talk about the Arizona offense. Here's the problem with the this Arizona team, and you and I have been going back and forth on this pretty much all month. And here's where I'm at. It's still the defense has been let me ask you this. Was 24 points good enough to beat should that have been good enough to beat Kansas State giving up 24 points?
Yes, you would assume so. But BYU only scored
well, that doesn't count because that's after Arizona broke them. So that doesn't.
My point is BYU only scored 2 offensive touchdowns. I think that score is a little misleading. Kansas State's defense is pretty good.
Okay, but Arizona.
Michael, did you know BYU had less yards than Arizona in that game?
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. I did not know that. I did not know that. But anyways, let's get back to the point that I want to make and not your point. Scheer promised. Oh, Michael Killebrew, you're getting called out by parents. Michael Killebrew said Scheer promised he would take Arizona this week. You did promise that.
Did I?
Yep, you did. You did.
When did I say that?
Oh, before the season.
Oh, before the season, I said they'd win 1 of 2.
Okay, well, there you're at.
Well, I'm not picking Arizona.
All right. Well, yeah, that's called not backing me.
It's a win-win for me. I'm either going to be right, or if I'm wrong, you guys can kill me.
Okay, now Let's see. All right. Anyways, let's get back to some important stuff. The Arizona offense, though, that is the problem with this team. I know that the defense has had major problems with rushing yards. I get all that, but it does not matter to me. It is the offense that has been the problem. There has to be the offense cannot be this. The offense was absolutely terrible against NAU, and it was even, I don't know if it was worse. I don't know if it's possible to be worse, but it was just as bad against Kansas State. There are too many guys, there's too much talent on this for to be as listless as it is. And you and I were talking about this before, Scheer. We'll get into the players that we need to talk about here in a second. But Scheer, the offense has been abysmal, and I put that right at the footprints.
Yeah, we are in full agreement on this.
Right.
You are not ready to throw in the towel on Dwayne Akina. And I said, what happens if he's crap the next 2 games? And you said you'd be more open to listening to it, right?
No.
Yeah, you did. With the defense?
No, I didn't. No, I just said I could see your point of view. The defense has been
like you could hear me out on that more deep.
But the offense has been the problem here.
Right. Offensively, we're both out on Babers.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, that's what I meant. I meant you don't understand my criticism of Akina yet. But with Babers, nice. We're on the same page.
Hey, if you want information, you better be nice. Yeah. When it comes to,
don't worry.
When it comes to the offense, though, and Ted Wardo has entered the equation. Hello, Ted Wardo. But when it comes to the offense, though, Kean Burnett is absolutely the embodiment of what is wrong with this offense. In that we watched him, and I don't care what anybody says, and this is different than even Jeremiah Patterson, because with Patterson, quick guy, Kean Burnett looked every bit the part of an NFL tight end. Every person at practice saw it. His lineage speaks that. His high school recruiting ranking speaks that. Everything speaks that, and he dominated. And we haven't seen him at all. I mean, has he even been targeted, like outside of the one play where he didn't get called for holding? Or where did it get called when he was held?
I would have to look at PFF for this. Is that okay?
Fine. Go ahead. Look at PFF.
But Brennan was asked about the tight ends. And look, again, believe it when you see it, all that, not defending him, blah, 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 blah. He did say that is something they took a very close look at in.
Thanks.
But again.
I mean, that to me is still the issue.
He has
how many targets?
I don't know. It doesn't say.
All right. Well, yeah. Okay. All that talk. Now let me ask you this: theoretically, how would Marcus Arroyo use him? That was funny. That was an inside joke.
Snap counts. That's not what I want. Grays. No, I don't know why.
All right, but Kean Burnett is the epitome of what's wrong here. Also, with Kean Burnett, the problem too is that this offense was supposed to be predicated to dedicated.
I got it.
What do you got?
Yes. What do you think?
How many targets?
Yes.
6.
According to this, that kid. 5. Yeah. 5.
5. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so I overshot it.
At my door, Mike. Is it your handyman at my door?
Yeah, no, that's the problem. You said you'd put your dog away. Your dog.
Well, someone rang the doorbell. They are away.
If Jacob Franklin blames anybody, he's going to blame you, not me. Or Kevin WN says Orlando Antigua would utilize Kean Burnett. Yes, I would totally agree with that. But now let's talk about. But Burnett, though, to me is the embodiment of the issue. We kept hearing about 2 tight end sets. We kept hearing about how, they're going to utilize this. This is what we do. And there's none of it. And that's the thing in camp. There's nothing of what we saw in camp. There's been no quick hits. There's been nothing. It's just been bleh.
Yeah. Now again, I am very curious. I don't need him to beat Utah. I'm not going to BS people and be like, yeah, they need to beat Utah or I'm out on Brent.
Yeah, we're out. Yeah, pitchforks.
But what I do and I do need to see is, so like he said, they reevaluated the scheme and all that. Mm-hmm. I need to see that on the field. Like, don't come out and we're running 3-yard out patterns or 15 yards and nothing in between. And
I just chuck it deep to T-Mac.
Yeah. I need an offensive identity. That's the thing to me. And that answer I didn't like. I criticized Brennan for that. Not knowing what you want your identity to be 3 games in the season is wild. Even if it's not even if it's not successful yet, you should know what you want to be.
Mr. Jody Ayler. And by the way, T-Burns 826 being very mean. Mike, did Orlando Antigua scout and expose Dominic Raiola? Being that Dominic Raiola was the center for Nebraska in 1999, I do not know that. If you're talking,
his brother committed too.
I know, yeah, but he stinks though. He's committed.
Come
his
on.
other offers were like Appalachian State and like Arizona Christian schools like that. But no, Dylan Raiola I thought was fantastic. I have no problem with that. But anyways, back to Arizona with but this again, we can't see again. If Arizona loses, we need to go down with all bullets or we need the banana clip unloaded. How about that? Arizona, hey, I would take three.
If Arizona loses, we need to shoot everyone.
What's that? No, that's definitely not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
No,
but
if
Arizona loses, Mike is going on a shooting spree.
No, I need three. Dude, here's what I need. I need three. If we get three touchdowns against Utah, I would run with that. Dude, oh my gosh, I would take that. Hey, would it be possible, Mr. Kevin Thomas, to get a wop, 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 wop in here, like the actual sound effects, or is that like a committee?
I'm pretty sure that is every copyright rule ever, but we're gonna do it.
Can we do this?
I think it's possible, especially if I get a sound clip of just you saying it. I think it works.
Yeah. All right. Now let's get a.
Oh, whose dog is barking?
Oh, yes, exactly. So that's that. All right, Ted, come here.
Is there any chance that Tetairoa attacks the handyman?
No, because Ted Wardo's in the house with me. No, Ted, if you come here, and again, just so everybody knows, there's somebody here that is fixing my washing machine. Ted, come here. All right, but you might have to talk for a second. We'll see. All right, but anyways, now let's get back to the offense. The offensive line too. This is a game too that also worries me a great deal. Playing against Utah's defensive front, that is an issue for me. With as poor as the offensive line has looked at times, Scheer.
Yeah. Free Leif Magnuson.
Yeah. What's going on, Leif? Quinn's on Twitter.
I don't know, but I do know.
Can't get in touch with him. What's going on?
Our boy's back on Twitter. He's quiet. He hasn't tweeted, but our boy's Twitter account is active again.
All right. Well, that's good. That's good.
Erica needs to get to the bottom of this.
Erica, get to the bottom of this. Hey, shows you how little Erica knows about football, even though Erica's awesome. She said, I just hope Leif gets a lot of tackles this game. Offensive linemen don't get tackles, Erica.
That was good.
Yes, exactly. That was very funny. But the offensive line, though, you're going to find out really quickly. You know what I also have come to the realization of? We are going to know almost immediately against Utah how Arizona is going to fare in this game, Scheer.
No, Mike, you can't fool me with that comment again. Arizona started the game against Kansas State with a 7-minute drive that was miraculous. And you're like,
No, but it
all went downhill from there, dude.
Well, right, but I'm saying we knew within the first quarter and a half. How about that? The first quarter and a half.
The first half, yes. We will know by the end of the first half how Arizona's doing.
Yes, exactly. Now, Ryan Neal, BYU didn't blow out Kansas State in a normal game. Yes, exactly, because Arizona, again, you tell all of your friends this, Arizona broke Kansas State. I'm not sure that Kansas State's going to do anything the rest of the season.
BYU won with 240 yards and 3 yards of rush because Arizona took everything emotionally and physically from Kansas State.
They were so beaten down by Arizona that's just where it is, man. I don't know.
What fan base do we think is going to believe this?
Kevin Thomas agrees with us. That's why he's coming in. Yeah, prodigious Kevin Thomas. Hello, Kevin Thomas.
Yeah, I think that was their Super Bowl. Honestly, I think you play a team like Arizona. I think it just takes so much like mental energy out of your week that the week after, I think you're just fried. You're cooked. Honestly,
they're favored over Oklahoma State. I don't see it. Oklahoma State hasn't played Arizona.
Yes, that's the thing that I think we've got to start looking at, though. Also, everybody out here, you need to know this. We are doing the show now these shows are about to be an hour long, very, very fun. But Kevin Thomas, this is also a preview for you to get ready as well. Scheer, when you think Sanderson Ford,
man,
you think girth, strength, everything that goes into being a tough person that I am not. Like I said, I have somebody right now that is fixing my washing machine. If I didn't have somebody fixing my washing machine, I would probably have a Sanderson Ford. I think that is the issue, though, with Sanderson Ford. Now, you might look at this and you might say, Kobe L. Thiel, he might look good in a Sanderson Ford. Everybody looks good in a Sanderson Ford. Do we think Jacob Franklin could fit into a Sanderson Ford?
I think that's probably the only car he could fit into.
Yes, dude, what a great answer that was. Seriously, dude, Scheer, you make me so proud at times. All right, now let me find the read here, the disclaimer. Sanderson Ford. Okay, here's the deal. Get deals for the 2024 Ford Bronco Sport for 5.9 APR for 66 months plus $2,000. Must be financed through Ford Motor Credit, OAC, and help us celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month with the Dia de los Muertos inspired trunk or treat at Sanderson Ford. See dealership for details. Also, Shady Rays. Now, our friend Glenn has blocked many people on Twitter now because they were trolling him about ASU, and that surprised me about Glenn. But Glenn will be back. One thing we know about Glenn, though, is that Glenn's a fairly good dude. And Glenn, he would be even cooler, and he would be a little less upset if he had Shady Rays. Scheer, you know a lot of people that live and die with their teams. Do you know anybody, though, that is upset not having Shady Rays?
I live and die with Shady Rays.
Yeah, you back the Ray. You back the shade. All of that.
At the end of the day, if Arizona gets blown out by Utah, I know that I could go incognito with my pair of Shady Rays.
Exactly. Exclusively for our listeners, Shady Rays is giving out their best deal of the season. Head to shadyrays.com and use code PHNX for 35% off polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself. The shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. Oh, Cade is here. No, I never said Cade was a cool dude. I said Glenn was a cool dude. Cade is not a cool dude. Okay, now let's get back to
preview Texas Tech, like I said.
Right, let's start talking about
Texas Tech. Preview Texas Tech. We discussed going with the strategy of not even
talking
about the Utah game, like not even acknowledging it.
You know what we're going to do, though? We're going to do this later on in the week. But, actually, let's do a little bit. Here's where I'm at with Utah. Utah's really damn good. If you are dang good, I think I can say that. Can I say that, Kevin Thomas? Kevin Thomas, thumbs up. Sorry. Well, no, because we have a lot of words now that we can't say. And I've never sworn on air. But I don't know sometimes what's allowed and what isn't. Okay, now, by the way, Dennis Walsh says, I just bought new Maui gyms. By the way, Andy Mortensen says, somebody, our friend on Facebook said he was with the great Dennis Walsh. Okay, now, let's get to the defense, though. This is very simple for me with the Arizona defense against Utah. If Cam Rising and Dorian Singer, take that, Scheer, beat me, then so be it. The running game, though, terrifies me.
There's a stat our former Utah 24/7 guy tweeted. I'm going to find it. He's with KSL now. Good dude.
Okay.
And it was a wild stat. Here we go. Facing stacked boxes of plays per game against 8-man fronts, right? All the service academies for obvious reasons. And then Utah.
Yeah.
Utah has faced 23 plays per game on stacked boxes.
Yeah, exactly. And they still run the ball. That's what's so cool about them.
Yeah, it's scary.
They are
Nebraska on that list, Mike.
Oh, interesting. Very interesting. But now when it comes to Utah, though, that's where if Cam Rising or whoever is back there beats me through the air, so be it. But I will say, look at this right here. Isaac Wilson or Cam Rising. One guy is clearly better. By the way, I thought that Sam Heward was their backup quarterback. What happened there?
I don't know. I think he got beat.
Right. Well, I guess so.
And I also will say this, though. So originally I thought that Cam Rising would be back for Arizona, and I still realize the Arizona effect. But Utah has a bye after this week, which is good for them because we know what happens.
Talking about it coming at the right time.
We know what happens there. So a part of me thinks that they start Wilson, give Rising the bye, and then he's good.
Because they also know, too, that they are going to be beat down so badly that...
do you really want to throw Cam Rising? Do
you want to throw Cam Rising to the Wolves when he's already a little bit off? No, I don't.
And there's no better test for Isaac Wilson than facing Arizona.
Yes, exactly.
Like if he can come out of that game unscathed,
right?
You know that
but again, I need Arizona to if Isaac Wilson beats Arizona, so be it. I do not want Arizona getting destroyed on the ground because that's exactly what I envision happening, and I do not.
Yeah. They're like, Micah Bernard's a monster, and then Whittingham's like, we need to give other guys a carry. They'll probably run like 50 times this week.
Yes, all right, exactly. No, we're going to get to Colorado. Do not worry here. By the way, Ted Wardo, very nervous about an intruder in here. Watch this. Hello, Ted Wardo. Watch this. Hold on.
Oh my God.
Dude, look at this. Look at
Great
this.
about him is he can't even see that there's an intruder.
Yeah, look at his eyes, too. Look how big those things are.
Oh my God.
They're like grapes. Gosh, look at Ted Wardo. All right, everybody say hi to Ted Wardo. All right, now, anyways, Ted Wardo wanted. All right, hey, buzz off now for a minute. Hold on. You're gonna be okay. Hold on. Sorry. This is great radio. Oh no, it's not radio. But all right, now let's talk about the the defense though. Again, do not give up 10 billion rushing yards. That's all I ask for. If Isaac Wilson or whatever player they put out there beats you, fine, I get it. No, I don't want that.
Stack the box. Put everyone in the box. All of them.
All of them. Literally all of them. Outside of Marquise Groves Killebrew. We want him.
Play your corners. Play your corners, right? Throw Dalton in the box as well.
Yes.
Play one back safety, and let's just see what happens.
All right. I do not have a daughter. This is not funny. I do not have a daughter, Kobe L. Thiel.
It's a son?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, Robbie Don making fun of Ted Wardo. Look at this. Robbie Don says, little bug-eyed dogs are gross.
Oh, no.
Wait a second.
Kick him out right now.
Shot at Ted Wardo.
Kick him out right now.
That is a cheap shot at Ted Wardo. That is not. Yeah. We need to have him banned, Mr. Kevin Thomas. Yes. June Thomas, tell this person who is boss and tell Kevin, just like you told Kevin Thomas. Yes, exactly. Okay. Now, just disgusting. Some things are reprehensible. Now, with so that's kind of where I'm at with that. Now, let's make fun of some other teams that deserve to be made fun of, and we're going to get back to Arizona. Dave Aranda. I would have fired Dave Aranda by now. If anybody watched the end of that Baylor Colorado game, that was the most atrocious finish I have ever seen in my life. Listen, we're all in the battle against good and evil. Baylor was good in this game, and Dave Aranda decides, you know what I'm going to do here? And I don't understand that. This is another thing that I'm going to get into in just a second. I do not understand where teams in college football decide, you know what we're going to do? I am going to run the ball 3 times, basically take 3 knees, and then trust my kicker with a 40-yard field goal on the road. This isn't the NFL. Those aren't gimmies. That's probably not going to give in. So Dave Aranda says, let's do that. And of course, it doesn't work. And then Dave Aranda says, you know what we're going to do then on this next possession? Listen, when we know they have to throw the ball into the end zone, dude, hey, Scheer, let's play bump and run press coverage on the outside against the best wide receiver unit in the country. And then when they drop it, you know what? We're still going to give them another chance. Grr.
Mike has called me no less than 5 times. Still upset about this game and Dave Aranda's coaching. You just go to like a prevent and whatever happens, like send back, just send all your guys in the end zone. Like, man-to-man coverage against a Hail Mary, which wasn't even a Hail Mary. I think people actually have a mistaken. That wasn't a Hail Mary. Like, they ran routes, and that dude caught it. Because Baylor wasn't defending anyone.
That was an absolutely atrocious thing. Let's see here.
By the way, shout out to Dave Aranda for making the play called public. It's called Victory Cigar.
Oh, gosh. But again, Dave Aranda should be no more. I would never want Dave Aranda anywhere near anything I did. Dave Aranda, you did a great job. Well, that was one of the most atrocious coaching performances that I have ever seen, Scheer. That was embarrassing, and you let Evil off the hook.
They're going to beat BYU this weekend. You know that, right?
I know that. But now let's talk briefly, though. Colorado, though, we're all UCF fans this week. Kevin Thomas, the prodigious Kevin Thomas. If you can bring up the our rooting guide from last week. By the way, this is our rooting guide. So this is what we
bad week for us. It was so close, too. Dude, it was so close.
This is the epitome. Now, for the people just listening, I need to explain. Texas Tech defeats ASU. And by the way, that game wasn't even that close. ASU.
No, it wasn't. That's a fake score.
Okay, now UW, Smelly Rainy Seattle beat Northwestern, but that was to be expected. We're going to get to them in just a second. Colorado defeats Baylor, or defeats Dave Aranda. Scheer, it feels like this weekend we left a lot on the table. Yeah. This was close to being Arizona doesn't lose. Texas Tech beats ASU, and Baylor almost beats Colorado. We left a lot on the table.
We knew the Washington game wasn't happening. Northwestern is super bad, but we were just right there. It was right there for the taking.
It was right there for the taking, and it didn't happen. But again, Joseph says the ASU loss was sweet enough to cover the other two. All right, let's talk about that ASU loss for a minute then. All right, here's what I think we know about ASU. If any team has a good, running defense, a rushing defense, ASU is going to be in a world of trouble. Because I do not believe that Sam Levitz, when he gets up from his couch, can actually make the throws needed. Oh, by the way, the great Tony Jones in the chat. What? But yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, Sam Levitt. That was a bad game for him, and I think Dilly would probably say that too. Not a good game for him. Big game. They have a bye week, but they're another one. Like it's their season type of game. Like they have to beat Kansas.
Now, let me ask you this. Do you think that there is a chance that, we asked this question, is there a chance that ASU decides that they need to go with a little bit more of a mobile quarterback? Because
we called for it. Yeah, we called for it on Saturday. And look, I'm not telling guys how to coach, but Justin made a difference.
Listen, when you see Sam Levitt out there and you're like, man, he looks stationary, like he's in a recliner. You need to get somebody out there that is a little bit quicker, a little bit more fleet of foot. Jeff Sims could be that. Hopefully we see it. Maybe the bye week gives you enough time to really get Jeff Sims ready to rock and roll.
About that. Maybe you draw something up for Jeff Sims during the bye week.
Yes, exactly. By the way, Ted Wardo has jumped back into my lap again. He is terrified of this intruder. Okay. Anyways, what's that?
Come the man up.
Yes, exactly. And please tell Dino. Well, by the way, let's get back to Arizona. Jeff Sims is the Sanderson Ford of QBs.
I like that.
We need to get Jeff Sims in there so we can see the fleet of foot. All right, now let's talk a little bit about back to Arizona. And don't worry, we're going to mock other teams. By the way, we're all UCF fans this week. Let's talk a little bit though about Dino Babers. His presser is tomorrow. What do we expect to see from Dino Babers tomorrow? What do we expect to hear?
I actually think it's going to be the vibe today was one surprise. I'm actually surprised. Good for Dino for getting in front of the media. I thought he might skip it, to be honest, because it doesn't have to be coordinators. And number two, I think it's going to be a little combative tomorrow. I think he's going to have to answer some questions. And
again, like Portland Timbers said on the Dino can be a little bit of a Dino can be a little condescending in some of his remarks.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think he's going to have to answer some questions tomorrow.
I think
it's going to have questions. Let me know.
I think it's going to, everybody's message Scheer or text him at 870-4. Never mind. I gave you the first four of it. You can figure out the rest. Now he will talk over the press. Yeah, we'll see. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. A couple other comments up here that I wanted to get to. Joseph said, "Hey, Scheer, are we allowed to call for Dino's firing already? What say you?"
Yeah, I don't care. That's fine.
Okay. All right, let's see here. Frank Galati says, you guys were hilarious today. Great job. I appreciate that. Oh, James says this. Obviously, the issue with Dino is Mike hasn't given him a Del Taco burger and posted it on Twitter yet. Here's the problem. The staff cuts off all access. I would gladly bring Dino Babers a Del Taco cheeseburger. But the problem, though, is that I have to basically give it to Brian Jeffries and Lamont instead. So, again, if they didn't cut off access, I would gladly bring them a cheeseburger. But
we get Babers, Noah, and Savanea. Have you considered bringing 3 cheeseburgers to tomorrow's presser and seeing if the season turns around?
But I would only want to offer them to Noah and Savanea, though.
That's fair.
Yeah, I mean, I think at that point, I got to go with the body of work at this point, and I'm a much bigger fan of the body of work that they have. So either way, but what do you expect Dino Babers to say? Serious question, Scheer.
Nothing of any value. I don't expect any coach ever to say anything of any value.
No, that's crap. That's BS. No. That is BS. That's bunk. Sean Miller always said.
Okay.
Sean Miller was awesome. Pressers.
Does Tommy really say anything of value?
No, but Sean Miller and Jed was also very good. Jed sent messages.
Yeah. I like coaches that talk ball with you. Like even if you don't know it, they don't really dumb it down. Right. Like one of Brent's best answers was when I asked him why they'd have the slow release handoffs. And even I don't agree with it. He at least explained it to me like I knew football. We're working on it. We adjust stuff during bye weeks.
That's his first problem.
We're gonna do this and that. We're gonna try to get so and so more involved. We have to do this, blah blah blah. Mike, I don't wanna jump ahead here, but I'm gonna go a little off topic for half a second.
No, we don't go off topic on this show.
No, this is good. This is good. It's good timing. We just got the basketball media day schedule. It's so close, Mike. It's 1 month from today.
We are going
basketball
to
media day is 1 month from today.
We are going to talk the last 15 minutes of this show about basketball because we deserve to talk about basketball. By the way, I had to shut the door in this guest room, so now I am because of the intruder, and now I am very, very hot. I am sweaty. D Maxwell just says fart. No, I'm keeping him in for this one. All right, now
basketball media day. By the way, difference between football and basketball media day. All in one day.
Oh, by the way, The Adventures of Fluffy says we need to inject some of Sean Miller's high-strung offense into this team because, man, when you think of Sean Miller, you think getting up and down, you think doing basically everything. That's kind of where we're at, right?
Yes,
exactly. All right, now. Also, we need to talk about the value of a kicker in college football.
Talk to him.
All right. Baylor did this. Arizona has Tyler Loop. So we very much like Tyler Loop on this show and Steve Loop. I am a bigger fan of Tyler Loop than Scheer is. Steve Loop has obviously acknowledged that as well. Scheer not in the inner circle for that reason. But I will say this. College kickers are not NFL kickers. They are not professionals. Many of these kids still pop 8 pimples in the morning. They are children still. They are not
Aubrey, whatever his name is, nailing 65-yard field goals.
Yeah, I'm saying they are not. These are kids too. A lot of times they have retainers still. They have pimples. They have all that stuff. And they are not going to a lot of times make a kick in a hostile environment. I understand if that is the case, that's all you have and you've got to rely on it. But these coaches, these dweebs, and I say dweebs affectionately because I am a dweeb, duh. But yes, I mean, duh. Let me look at
yes.
But stop doing this. Go for first downs. Try to win the game. Do not rely on a kicker. That's the other reason I would fire Dave Aranda. Boo!
It wasn't just him. Like it was like a theme. It was like a theme this weekend. Like, why are we relying on college kickers to win games? Why are we doing it?
Why don't do it again? Don't do it. Listen,
don't do it.
That is like going into the loo and saying you've never heard of Nelly. You're going to get bad results.
That was good. By the way, basketball media, Kansas City, Kevin City.
Oh, by the way, you know where the Big 12 tournament is, right?
Kansas City. I don't.
Maybe the Archway Bandit makes his way there.
Ooh,
yes, exactly. Anyways, yes, we're going to continue to talk about Dave Aranda because that makes me laugh, and I'm going to be honest with you, that is a big part of this. Now, Scheer, you said something that was actually salient yesterday. You said, "Listen, this whole season is going to come down to Texas Tech."
Yeah.
I agree with this. I do not expect Arizona to beat Utah, but I would say that I would be happy. I would be surprised. Texas Tech is the game, though. You got to beat Texas Tech. If you don't beat Texas Tech, then you're going to lose a lot of games this season.
Yeah, that's the season to me. It's that simple. If Arizona loses to Texas Tech, I think it goes off the rails. I think Arizona struggles to make a bowl game. I really do.
Yes, exactly. Let me ask you this. What is there because, well, no, I don't want to get into that. I don't want to cause a bunch of problems that'll cause issues for me. So I do not want to get into that. I will not get into what anybody thought that I was going to say. Facts, Andy. Let's see here. STL. Now, Patrick Miller says we're looking at 6 or 7 wins. 6 wins would be a disastrous season for Arizona.
6 wins is a disaster.
Yes,
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Nope. Oh, by the way, you guys got to like. Hey, I need some help with this. You got to like it as well. We got 170 lives in here, but I need you guys to like it as well because Shane Diefenbach yelled at me and it was brutal. He came in there and he flicked Kevin Thomas's ear and
just like Shane. It really does.
Yes, and then he yelled at me. So again, everybody like this. I do a terrible job of putting that out there. Please, everybody like this. Okay. Now, this is true, Kevin Thomas. I did get yelled at.
I just wanted to say I heard a rumor. I don't know if it was on the boards. I don't know if it was on Twitter. I don't know where it was. I did hear a rumor that Arizona's lackluster offensive performance is because we're not getting the likes on the AZ Wildcats podcast.
I think that's a huge part of it.
That's what I heard. It might have been Dino Babers that told me that. I don't know.
Yeah, well, and by the way, if we want to talk about Shane Diefenbach, you know about Shane Diefenbach and what his massive mistake around me and Scheer was, right? Were you here for this, Kevin Thomas?
The game film, the huddle?
No. Far worse.
Shane made a very big mistake around us.
I don't know. What was it, boys?
We were talking about this, and you can ask Shane Diefenbach about this. We were sitting, and I remember we were at this round table at a Section 7 basketball tournament, and we were talking, and he was trying to tell us that ASU had a better receiving core than Arizona. Okay. And I said, wait a second. And then he brought up, he said, you have Jacob Cowing, and that's it. And then Scheer and I both looked and were like, I think he knows. And then I had to explain to him who Tetairoa McMillan is, and literally had to bring up the 24/7 profile and put it in his face. Scheer, this is true. I am not exaggerating any of this.
When was this?
It's true. I thought you were referring to the family member. That was also a mistake.
We'll get to that in a second. But the T-Mac thing is true, right?
That is true. That is true.
When was that? When was that?
It was last offseason.
Yeah, last offseason. Section 7.
And he clearly had no clue who it was, so we always will hold that. Also, the other issue that we have with Shane Diefenbach is this. He has a recruitable wide receiver of, what is it, a nephew or a cousin? One of some. Brady Diefenbach. We are trying to get him to the U of A, and he will not let us play his huddle highlights. We are not happy with him.
Look, all I know is this. I'm very connected in Agora still. I pretty much run it. I'm going to reach out to some people in Agora, and I'm going to make this a thing. We're going to get a live feed of one of his games on this network.
We are going to. I told Shane Diefenbach he will not push us around when it comes to this. We will get this.
I love Agora Hills. I'll give you my address.
Yeah,
Timberlane Street. Is that so around Timberlane Street? I went to Sumac.
All right,
Sumac Elementary. I run it.
Yeah, exactly. So that's where we're at. Okay, let's get to
all the schools are named after like plant. Like there's Sumac, there's Lupin Hill, there's Willow.
What's a sumac?
It's a plant.
Isn't that like those really big like Japanese wrestlers, sumacs? Or no, sumos. Sumacs. Okay. Now we're gonna get to some Arizona basketball here in just a moment. But Kevin Thomas, get ready here. Everybody, get ready. Gila River Resorts and Casinos. Come on. You all know the drill. Everybody knows the drill. Scheer, come on. Everybody out there, do it.
Do you like this one better, or do we like this one?
I like that one better. The first one you did, Scheer, is way better. Come on, everybody do the wave. The wave. Let's see here. Scheer, everybody out there do the wave and put the wave emoji in there as well. June Thomas, get the wave in there as well. Gila River Resorts and Casinos, my friends. Now, you might say, Mike, is there more there than just the wave? Well, duh. Thanks for asking. All kinds of really good stuff at the Gila River Resorts and Casinos, but more so than anything, Scheer, it is a fun, immersive experience, and it is for part of the community. Who would have ever thought that the wave would be something, a staple of the program? It is huge. Check it out, the Gila River Resorts and Casinos.
The wave is us. We are the wave.
We are the wave. No, the wave is, yeah. What time is it?
Arizona beats Utah. Mike and I will dress up as a wave.
Yes, no, we will. We will come on to the show as a wave. By the way, we were at a tailgate and we did the wave. And Erica L. Day put it out on like Bingo on or what is that thing called? TikTok. Yes, yeah, put it out on Bingo.
Is you pretending like you don't know what TikTok is? Like,
oh yeah, look at me, man. Exactly. She's trying to get me a TikTok. I will not do it though. But either way,
TikTok maybe.
Yeah, the Tick Wardo. Anyways, check the Gila River Resorts and Casinos and the other one. When you think of wave time, you also need to think of game time. Check it out. Game time. Scheer, this is your read, not mine.
Yeah, game time it's real simple, guys. Alamo Bowl, someone was in the lobby. A lot of fun, a lot of excitement. They didn't even have tickets. We're like, the game's kicking off in 2 hours, dude. He goes, you know what? Jason, don't worry. I have the game time app. Amazing. No worries with game time.
Right. It's and hold on just a second. Let's see here. Okay, great. Okay, now, sorry, this was my washing machine guy. Okay, now all kinds of. All right, now let's talk about the let's talk about now the game time though. I got to get the read in. I do apologize. Okay. Game time. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code PHNX for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code PHNX for $20 off. Download Game Time. What time is it? Game time. Ooh. Okay. Now let's talk a little bit. The intruder has left without fixing the problem. We always love that.
Yeah. Let me guess. He's going to get a part. Right.
Yeah. Then he says, and then he says to me, he says, what, is it okay with you if I have to get a new drain pump? Yes, I need the drain pump.
The best handyman you've ever had was to do that. Put your TV stand together.
Oh, gosh, this is amazing.
Can I say this?
Yes, of course.
And his wife came over and like fell asleep on your couch.
Dude,
and then
So I bought one of these. TV stands that's like way too big for the house, and I had no clue where. I had no clue how to put it together, so I had to call somebody. This guy comes over. This elderly gentleman. He comes over and he brings his wife over to somehow help. She doesn't help. She ends up falling asleep on my couch. And then this was right before an Arizona basketball game as well. And then he asks me. I said, "Well, yeah, I got to get ready now." And then he says, "Well, do you mind if I stay over for a little while?" And just the first half. And I was like, "No, get out of here. I don't want this." So anyways, there's that. Also, so Arizona basketball, but first we got to give a big shout out to June Thomas. Is June Thomas the lovely June Thomas? Is she in the mail? Is she does she deliver mail, Kevin Thomas?
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Did I ever tell you about when I tried delivering mail for a day?
Did you really?
Yeah,
you said for a day, so it couldn't have gone well. It couldn't have gone well.
Whole idea that is.
It was like an apprentice type thing. But man, that's difficult driving on the different side. That is not easy stuff.
Shelby's uncle is a mailman. He might have retired recently, but he was a mailman in Phoenix.
I have the ultimate respect. I have the ultimate respect for mail people. I mean, no, this was it was amazing. I would never be able to do this. That's not part of my set of skills. That's for sure. Okay, now let's talk about Arizona basketball. Let's talk about the Arizona basketball depth. I believe that this should be the best bench that Arizona has had under the Tommy gun, because I do believe I have the least amount of questions. What say you, Scheer? And then we're going to start breaking it down bit by bit.
Yeah, it should absolutely be. It's not even the deepest. I think what they need is on the bench. The only thing I don't like about the bench, and why I wouldn't disagree because he hasn't had it before. Who's the backup point guard?
Well, again, you're the one that keeps trying to sell me on Caleb Love.
That's who they're going to play.
Yes. No, I don't know.
I would question. There's no backup point.
No, and it's not Conrad.
Jaden Bradley needs to play 40 minutes every game.
Yep. But again, I would agree with that. It's not Conrad.
Watch your mouth, Erica.
Wait a second, though. Although there is a split on the staff about Conrad, though.
Yeah, dude. Tommy likes him.
I don't know what else to say.
Tommy likes Conrad. Conrad is his baby.
Okay.
Tommy has one or two guys. Let's just call them his babies. And this year, it's Conrad and Henry.
Can we stop? And somebody on your boards put this up there, and he said, "Can we stop with the charity scholarships?"
No,
there's been way too many charity scholarships.
No, we need to increase them.
And more charity scholarships.
Yeah, because now there's more scholarships.
We don't need players that are never going to play here.
Why? You can't have 15 guys that play.
Okay, so you have. All right,
so you on the spot. I'm going to put you on the spot so bad right now. Hold on. I'm going to put you in such a difficult position right now. You ready? Is Liam Lloyd a charity scholarship?
Of course.
Wow.
Is Jackson Francois a charity walk-on?
Liam Lloyd would beat Jackson Francois 100-0.
No, that's not what I asked you. Is Jackson Francois?
I think Liam is good enough to be on scholarship.
Is Jackson Francois a charity walk-on?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, fair enough. So we're both getting in trouble here. I
don't think you can have 15 guys that can play. I don't think you can have 15.
Why did they run off Philly B?
They didn't run off Philly B. He wanted the Rock. You can't. That helps my case, Mike. You can't have 15 guys that play.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough.
Someone's going to be unhappy. You got to have 12 guys that can play.
I don't like your points.
You know
I don't like your points you're making, so let's redirect. Let's talk about Tobe Awaka first. Somebody that you and I both know fairly well has been telling us that Tobe Awaka will play in the NBA. We are both a little skeptical of this, but this person also generally does not blow smoke. Tobe Awaka. I am very happy about Tobe Awaka, especially going into the Big 12.
Yeah. I like he needs to, and you know what I like too is he had a presser last week and he said that he's like they need toughness and rebounding and defense in the Big 12 against teams like Houston and Kansas. And I'm like, yes. I'm so glad that you know who you are. It is so important, mostly for bigs, to know who they are.
Okay. By the way, Kate Harrop. A legit question. Why is U of A not brought back Scooby Wright? Scooby Wright did a lot of really good things. I don't want Scooby Wright near the program, dude. All he does is complain about how he's not honored enough and all of this stuff. Scooby Wright's somebody that should not be on Twitter. I appreciate
a reporter just texted me and said they must be watching the show. Quote, Mike hates Brent Brennan. Unquote.
I never said that.
That's the vibe you're giving off to other people. I'm just saying.
Who's the reporter?
You know who he is.
Does his name rhyme with mine?
Very closely, yes.
Okay, fair enough. I'm not a bit.
I'm just saying. That's the vibe you're giving off.
I am not a fan of how he has done things. That's
the vibe you're giving off.
That's fine. You know what? I stand on business. That's all. That's where
if Tina were to step down after this year, do you think the best scenario for Brent Brennan, who's too nice, would be to hire Bo Pelini? Stage is yours, Mike.
Yes, Bo Pelini. Bo Pelini needs to be back in college.
Where is he? He's not coaching at all?
I don't think he's doing anything. Bo Pelini needs to be.
Yeah, right. You're right. He's not back. What about Carl? Where's Carl?
Carl Pelini. I think he got didn't he get he got caught doing a bunch of coke. Remember?
That's perfect. That's my type of coach, dude.
Yes. All right. So yes, Cade, he has complained. All right. Anyways, let's get back to Arizona basketball. Tobe Awaka. I'm very enthused by him. I discovered Tobe Awaka while I was at Culinary Dropout on a date. But I think he's going to be very good. Arizona needs men of girth, men of strength, men of stamina in the Big 12. I'm excited to see him. I think he's going to be good. Plus, I think getting away from Rick Burns is a good thing. Or Rick Barnes, sorry, whatever. Rick Burns.
I don't foresee him scoring a ton of points, right?
Right.
But he doesn't need to. I want toughness. I want rebounding. I want defense. And I think there is no doubt in my mind he brings all three. No doubt.
And you know what I think we're going to find out too? I think we're going to find out that he's a little bit better offensively than people think, because that's what our buddies keeps telling us.
And he would never lie.
No, I'm saying he wouldn't lie. All right, now let's talk about Anthony Dell'Orso. He's looked good so far. They're happy with what they've seen.
Yeah, I'm excited about him. Is he a guard? Is he a forward? Is he a wing? I don't know. I don't know what he is.
But that's a good thing, because I think he's got a lot of good. I think he's got a lot of good stuff.
That's not bad. I'm curious to see how they use him.
I'm also happy that he's a good shooter. We need shoot, and that's for the spacers. Although he's actually a spacer, though.
Yes, he is a spacer, dude. This spacer thing for you, Tommy's a spacer.
Yeah, but dude, well, he's done a great job of it come March spacing.
I'm just saying, Tommy's a spacer.
All right, well, I don't know. The spacers drive me up a wall.
I know, but
yes,
between Carter saying he's going to play some guard and some other things.
Carter's not playing guard.
All
right. Let's talk about Carter Bryant. Carter Bryant is a coach's delight because he's a very talented kid. He also comes from a family that is not forcing anything, does not send subliminal messages on the internet, anything like that. These are the kind of kids that you want to recruit, period.
Yeah. Character matters. It really does.
I mean, it really does. Deshaun's a great guy. We should get Deshaun on again before the season.
Yes, we should.
Yes, no. But Carter Bryant, I think Carter Bryant is going to be this. Now, again, this might not be a compliment to Scheer, but he's wrong. I believe that Carter Bryant's role is going to be a little bit KJ Lewis plus this year. Now, you didn't think much of KJ Lewis at all last year. I did. But Carter Bryant, I think, is going to be about 17 to 19 minutes per game. 6 points, 4 rebounds, has a couple of glimpses where you're like, man, as a sophomore, that dude is going to be an All-American. That's where I'm at.
That's low for you. I thought you'd go 15, 8, 4.
No, that's all crap, dude. You just make that stuff up.
Yeah, I think Carter will have a nice role. I agree. The KJ Lewis role. He'll have games where, to be blunt, he doesn't do a lot. It doesn't really call for him. The vibe's off, whatever it may be. And he'll have games where he scores 12 points and looks awesome.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. We do agree, though, that ideally he is a 2-year player, correct? This is true.
Yes. Yeah.
And it wouldn't surprise. And again, having good parents that understand where things are is good. All right. Let's see here. Kobe. All right. Kobe L. Thiel wants some apologies. So here, Kobe L. Thiel, first of all, he says, if Javier Amos scores more than Townsend.
What team is Javier Amos not even on? I don't remember.
Like, is he on Wisconsin? Yeah, I think Javier Amos is on Wisconsin, the Northern Illinois guy.
Javier Amos.
Yes.
Did he? Oh, well.
Yeah, isn't he on Wisconsin?
I don't know.
All right, well, yeah, he's on Wisconsin. I was right. No, I don't want Javier Amos. But Kobe L.
Kill that dude.
Kobe L. Thiel wants an apology, though, from me. And I'm going to ask you if you think that I should give it to Kobe L. Thiel, because Erica L. Day also has weighed in on this. Kobe L. Thiel didn't like the Brent Brennan hire from the beginning. And he's been telling me that I should be giving him, or he's been telling people that I should be giving him credit for not liking the hire. It's too early, dude.
Yeah, come on, man.
And why is he complaining to Erica about this? Why doesn't he just complain to me like a man?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, Erica at times is more manly than you, to be fair.
Oh, Erica's
very tough.
Erica's
hard,
much.
What is it? Hard skinned?
Thick skinned, scaly skinned, or no, scaly skinned? No, that sounds terrible. You don't as a woman, you don't want to be scaly. I have an aunt that's scaly skinned. She just goes out she went out in the sun for like 10 hours. And then so she looks kind of like a suitcase, like one of those alligator suitcases. It's not a good look. So either way, Kobe L. Thiel, you don't get the apology yet. Sorry. I'm not going to do it. Just not going to do it. All right. Now, let's see here. But I like the bench, though. I think between Dell'Orso, I think between Tobe Awaka, and I think between Bryant, you have a nice little combination of toughness, skill. I am with you. I wish there was a backup point guard. But it is what it is.
Erica just posted a poll. Are you anti or pro spacing? I really don't like her attitude.
No, the kids have been jerks today. Look at these two kids. But again, now about this, Henry, I get people that keep saying, what about Henry? I will believe Henry when I see it. I would love to be wrong. I will do a my bad Henry movement. I will believe Henry when I see it.
Yeah. Love Henry. Great kid. Wonderful life.
Great life.
Yeah. I need to see it. I need to see it on the field.
I need to see it. Yes, exactly. That is where I am at. All right. Now. Side with the Utes. Oh man, we got a thing going in here right now about a lot of look at the kids fighting here. But yes, that's exactly what Erica L. Day said about Kobe L. Thiel. Let's see. All right, now let's talk a little bit then before we sign off then about the bench. Do you believe this bench is going to be the best of the Tommy Gunn era?
Yes. Yeah, it should be.
Okay, now that's where we're at. Brad Rich, why would I be mad at Brad Rich? You have two first names. Brad Rich says, Mike is mad at me because I poked a little fun at his handiness. No, I advertised it. I suck at that kind of stuff, and that's why I'm going to be without a washing machine.
Mike knows he's not handy.
Trust me, I know my handicaps, and there are many, many, many. Okay, now No better time to become PHNX diehard. Kevin Thomas, if you could bring this up. Okay, diehard membership, free t-shirt of your choice from the locker, access to all of our premium written content, entrance to the Discord lounge, discounts on all events, also to Kobe L. Thiel and Erica L. Day arguing with each other and kind of this passive aggressive.
It's a little lovey, it's a little hard to get type of deal.
The most passive aggressive relationship I have ever seen.
Yeah,
but but either way, check it out. Become a diehard today. Also, Scheer, where can they find you?
WildcatAuthority.com, Wildcat Scoop podcast with Shelby, who also wanted me to shout out the Arizona women's volleyball team.
What did they do? Did they win?
11-0. 11-0.
Oh man, I didn't know that. Okay. Yeah. All right. Very cool. That's very cool. That's very, very good. Also, Kevin Thomas, at some point we need to get the lovely June Thomas on the show when the schedule allows. Would this be possible, Kevin Thomas?
We're going to work on this.
Wow. Kevin pretended like he was going to enter the chat, then he went away. All right, maybe that's a hard no. I don't know. June, Mrs. Thomas, I'm trying to get this worked out though. We need to see who we need to see how this works. Anyways, appreciate all of you. And yes, I do own a screwdriver. So I will not sit here and allow this to be. Yes, I am tougher than you all think. But tomorrow we will be back with you at 10:30. Also, this week, Scheer going to be on the post game against Utah. Oh, and we have a watch party this Friday at Saturday at Bourbon Bent. My buddy owns the place. It's on University. Bourbon Bent. I am going to be there. Erica L. Day will be there as well. Bring money and bring a good time because it's going to be a good time. On that note, though, for Jason Scheer, for the Saint Lunatic, Kevin Thomas, I am merely Mike Luke. You've been listening to the AZ Wildcats podcast.
We all silly like the mayor.